Hey, 806 Patrick Morning Show. Final segment with our man, Ben. Well, I guess actually, segment and a half left with Ben. Currently in existence. There's 30 of them.
Yeah, I think I've been to every single one now because of the Vegas one last year.
That's right, yeah. The 31 NFL writers for the Athletic, I should say, got together and ranked the best and the worst NFL stadiums.
We spent the entire commercial break trying to figure out why there's only 31.
Yeah, we're like, who's the one team that's not represented by the Athletic?
I'm going to guess probably the Jaguars.
It's kind of what we're thinking, too. That was floated around. Yeah.
Or maybe they just, at the Athletic, they just don't like that one writer and just said, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't be a part of this.
It could be that they have one reporter for the Rams and the Chargers.
That could be it, too.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of coverage, man.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Anyway,
anyway.
carry on.
So just guessing, what do you think got the number one ranking? If you were doing this yourself, if you were voting, who would you vote for? What stadium would you vote for? What's your favorite, Ben?
Whew. It's very tough because you're talking indoor and outdoor stadiums, right?
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
And what is the criteria of it as well? I mean, is it just like the experience or is it?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is it just, I will say completely, I know this, complete homer take. The best indoor stadium is US Bank Stadium.
Right.
The best outdoor stadium is Kansas City.
Yeah. Right.
You are dead wrong.
What say you, Corey Cove?
The right answer is the Death Star in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I haven't been in there. But that has to be the best stadium.
What do you think? Are you going to go through the list? But
I
what
am.
What do you think? Because you've been to a lot too.
It's weird, Ben, because what I base it on is completely selfish stuff.
Oh.
So, I love Detroit.
I do too.
I love that stadium. Man.
I do too.
It has everything you need, nothing you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love that stadium. I like Lumen Field in Seattle. I think that's a great stadium.
Yep.
You've said in the past you're not a big SoFi fan.
I'm not a big SoFi fan.
I am not either.
I think the design was ridiculous.
The outside of it's so cool.
Yeah.
The inside, it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'll give you the top five starting
Dallas
at 5.
has got to be way up there, right?
It's big for the sake of being big, but yeah. Top 5, according to the writers at The Athletic, starting at number 5, seats 67,000 people. Lumen Field in Seattle. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is, I think, fan experience too.
No doubt about it. I still can't believe how loud it is in there.
It gets so loud.
I just, even for that preseason game, at times.
It's
it
the
was so
cloud
loud.
cover. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there weren't any clouds that day. Number 4, the aforementioned AT&T Stadium in Dallas. 80,000 people, by the way.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a spectacle. It's one of those things that you're like, wow, we're in Jerry World. It's so cool, and this video board is amazing. It's okay. I don't think it's all that. I mean, you take away the video board, and it's just a stadium.
Yeah. Coming in at number 3, seating 81,441 fans, Lambeau Field. I do love Lambeau Field.
Yeah, I've grown to love it a lot more lately.
That's the nostalgia of it as well.
Yeah.
It has to play a role in it.
Yeah, and once they sort of did the renovation where they really bowled the whole thing in, it is a much different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that across the street from the stadium's just people living in their houses. That still freaks me out.
Renting out their yard you're at the state fair to park.
Yeah, like getting again, I'll always remember leaving a game. It must have been a 3:00 start game. Of course, it was wintertime, so it didn't have to be. And getting in the bus and coming out of the parking lot, and you could see the guy watching TV in his house as we were turning out of the stadium. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Number 2, SoFi Stadium, 70,000 people. There you go. Apparently they like it.
That's number 2?
One of its best features is the double-sided video board that hangs from the ceiling, circling the entire field. That is impressive.
But I know the new has got to have something to do with, being that high, right? Just because it's just that new.
Yeah, I thought it was hotter than hell in there too, man.
Well, and
Remember
it
that?
smells like 2.
Yeah, it does smell like 2. You're right. It smelled bad.
And they said they can't get rid of that number 2 smell.
Yeah.
They said it's
tar pit.
It's there to stay.
That is just all the. That's Los Angeles.
and it is strong.
It's bad.
It is very strong. Now, when you're in, I don't know if the fans really smell it that much when they're in the stadium.
Right.
But when you drive in and you're down in the locker room area and the whole lower concourse, it is awful.
It's poopy.
But if you live
poopy.
there,
Hot
then
poopy, too.
you're used to it. It's like any friend's house that you would go to when you were a kid. You could just get that whiff and you know exactly where you would be.
So.
You could blindfold me and then I'd know exactly what grandma's house smelled like.
Nope. You just got to go experience it.
Really? It's that bad too?
It's strong.
And it's just like a Tupperware top too. So
it's not going anywhere.
Oh.
It's bad. And it's hot. And it's hot poopy.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one ranked stadium, according to athletic writers in the NFL, 66,000 people, U.S. Bank Stadium.
Yes.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota. Wasn't even close, it says here. Half of the voters placed it number one in their rankings. It also topped the list 3 years ago. Although it's an indoor venue, half of the roof is transparent, and the wall behind the end zone facing downtown of Minneapolis is glass, allowing a considerable amount of natural light. That is a cool feature. I dig that. It opened in 2016, making it one of the league's newest stadiums. It also helps that the Vikings do an excellent job with their pregame and in-game presentation.
Benjamin, where would you put Tottenham if that was in U.S. stadium? Because that was one of my favorite stadiums I've ever been to. And the loudest one I've ever been to, but it was awesome.
It was awesome. That would be easily top 5.
Yeah.
Probably top 2 or 3. And the same thing with that Hawk is saying. It's like it's Lambeau Field, but even more residential.
Yeah.
Because
you're right.
Because there were kids waving from their apartment buildings directly across the street.
Dude, we
directly.
The buses parked right beside a school. Remember where the buses were right there, and it was a school?
Yeah.
You're right. Crazy.
That place was super cool.
It was pretty cool. Bottom 5 are as follows. Stadiums in the NFL. 25 is MetLife Stadium in New York. It's just
I would agree with that.
Nondescript, right?
Yep.
Nothing special about it at all.
Nope.
26 is what's now called the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. That is an asshole. It just is.
Yeah. Loud, but
asshole.
that's,
Yeah. Now, this one I don't agree with. They have number 27, Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. I love that stadium. It's got, there's nothing terrible about that. Nice outdoor stadium. Not bad at all.
They just voted on geographically.
I don't know. 23-year-old stadium. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I've been there a couple times. It's a cool setting.
We'll be there again this year.
It's right on the river. Yeah, but I guess they've been kind of fighting for a new stadium. So they obviously know it's S.
Yeah. We play there this year again in December, which, in Ohio/Indiana there, Kentucky, it could be 100 degrees or 12.
Yeah.
That could be the only questionable game we have the rest of the year when it comes to weather.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Rock Stadium in Miami at number 28.
Oh, I liked that stadium.
I kind of liked it too.
Yeah, I did.
Then, of course, Jacksonville Jaguars TIAA Bank Field at number 29. And lastly, the worst stadium in the NFL, according to these writers, FedEx Field in Washington.
Hands down.
Yeah, terrible.
Hands down. As much as maybe the Vikings U.S. Bank Stadium there's a big separation between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
There should be a major separation with that last one in Washington. That is the worst experience. It's a horrible experience. Horrible experience, a horrible stadium. That place, that needs to be torn down.
And I'll tell you, a stadium that should be right there next to it, and I'm looking for it right now because I think it's just an S-hole, is Atlanta, man. I hate that stadium.
It's
Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They have it at number 8.
But you know what? When we were there, the roof wasn't working.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it was a brand new stadium. And they're like, it's brand new. Check out the stadium. It's really cool. They have this thing on the top. Looks like a camera lens. It's like an eye. Like it like opens up. Except we can't get it to work.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So our game in there was super dark. Very, very underwhelming for a brand new. It's a cool looking stadium on the outside, but I think unless that top is open, it is a horrible stadium on the inside.
Yeah, yucky.
In all seriousness, where do they put the Vegas stadium?
Let me take a look here. Let me slide on back in. Take a look here.
The reviews have been pretty solid on that one too.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah. They have it at number 7.
Okay.
Opened in 2020. Tough to rank because unlike SoFi, only one team plays there, and the Raiders have not yet hosted the Super Bowl, which they do this season. But in many ways, it's not really a football stadium, says the Raiders reporter Vic Tafer of the Las Vegas nightclub in one end zone with the waitresses and bottle. That's true. Do you remember having to walk through that to get to the press box?
Yep.
And during the game, the people in there don't know there's a game going on. It's a freaking party in there. I forgot about that, Ben.
And then
we have to push the equipment out through there on the way out, and the party's continuing. Yeah, forgot about that.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you never know who you're going to see there either. I saw more stars at that Vegas game than I have at any other stadium I've ever been to.
Yeah. Although I will say about SoFi, they have some. There are some field level suites that are a little bit like that too. Yeah. They're just full on VIP, big time. It's the who's who that's at the game. So that's kind of a cool little feature they have there too.
So there you go. There's your breakdown.
All right.
Congratulations, all the people at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Headlines between now and 9 o'clock. We go commercial free the rest of the way with Ben Lieber and Michael J. Mussman III. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan. Get ready to win your way to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival and $1,000.
You'll be there.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 22nd.
You've never seen before. Hyundai, it's your journey.
Staples has great prices on everything you need for back to school. Right now, a 24-pack of Crayola crayons and comp books are just 50 cents each, and select notebooks are just 35 cents each. In-store only. Offer ends 8/26, limit 30. School on, save on at Staples.
Hassle-free financing now available with touchdown.tile.com. Oh, and on top of that, when you go to the website for, let's say, backsplash or maybe a kitchen or bathroom remodel, top right of the page, you'll see a KFAN banner. Hit it, because it's a route to saving 23% on your next project. And if financing is needed, it's hassle-free with Touchdown Tile. Learn more at touchdowntile.com.
Every business deserves a great deal. That's why, for a limited time, we're launching the Mobile Made Free event. With Comcast Business Internet, new and existing customers can get 1 year of unlimited mobile for free. Yep, you heard that right. An entire year, free. It's our best internet, powered by the next generation 10G network and with 99.9% reliability. Plus 1 line of free mobile for a year. The Mobile Made Free event is happening now.
Get started with internet and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, for a limited time only, ask how new and existing customers can get a free line of unlimited mobile during the Mobile Made Free event. Call or go online today to learn more. Ends 9/21/2023. Eco-bill and auto pay required. New 50 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Mobile offer requires 100 megabits per second internet package and new unlimited intro-mobile service. Other restrictions apply.
Need fast internet? You found it. Get super fast, ultra reliable quantum fiber internet today. Speeds up to 940 megabits per second. Unlimited data and no annual contract. Go to quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey, and I've got exciting news to share. Livia Weight Control Centers was just named Minnesota's best weight loss program for the 3rd year in a row. That's 3 years gold and 14 years of changing lives. Celebrate with them. Celebrate with me. Join today. Get 3 months for free. With Livia's doctor-recommended program, you can lose up to 10 pounds or more in the first 2 weeks. Call 855-GO-LIVIA or visit Livia.com. That's Livea. Livia.com. Livia, voted Minnesota's best weight loss program 3 years in a row.
Repeat after me. I am not a victim. Come on, you can do it. I am not a victim. Let these 5 simple words re-empower you when storm damage means it's time for a new roof, siding, or deck. And go to allaround.com. Don't form a self-help group. Sign up for bunny yoga or choke down a bunch of kale. Simply go to allaround.com for a fast, fair, free estimate. Let the experts at All Around work with your insurance company to restore your home to its former glory. Pull yourself together. You won't be told what's best for you another minute. You won't be bullied by the false claims and shoddy workmanship of the other guys. Stand up, unless you're driving. Oh, what the heck. Stand up anyway and declare for the world, I'm going to allaround.com. And if you don't like it, go unfriend yourself. Get started today at allaround.com.
All around, we get it done, we do it right.
Whether it's back roads or back to school, get there in a new Jeep from Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville. And the summer of Jeep savings are hotter than ever. Lease a new Jeep Renegade Limited for as low as $308 a month with $39.99 down. Or a 23 Jeep Compass Latitude starting at $395 a month with $39.99 down. Save big with employee pricing for all on new 2023 Gladiators. Choose from 37 Gladiators in stock. Shop our new showroom and make this the summer of Jeep. Only at Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville. Online at parkjeep.com.
Here's Coach.
5 years, no interest, or save 20% off on your siding project. Go to buildersandremodelers.com.
Now back to the 651 Carpets Plus, home of the Next Day Install Studios. It's the Power Trip on the Fan.
Everybody's got some. The Power Hour continues live at KFAN.com/watch, and it's powered by Quantum Fiber.
Yes, yes, yes. Look at us. Look how good looking we are.
Did I put your camera on, Hawk?
Is my camera on?
There it is.
Hi. There's Max. Speaking of good looking. Show him them T words. Go ahead and give him a little show.
He meant teeth. Put your shirt down.
No, yep, no. He got it right. He had it right. Here we are. Over there's Ben and Muss. Look at that.
That's what a real man looks like, baby.
Is that really? Son of a bee.
I got some yelling at a baby.
All right, little Hulkster.
Yeah, it's time you learn.
You little bastard.
Man, I follow all kinds of weird Twitter accounts, you know, and this is as morbid as they come. But I got to tell you this because this is the most like, if there's a definition of irony, Corey, if you ever want to know what irony is, I think this is it. In 1985, a New Orleans man drowned at a pool party, attended by over 100 lifeguards, celebrating a summer with no drownings.
Oh my. Alanis, take it away.
I know, right?
Yeah, but sometimes you don't want to bring your work home with you.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I guess.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to decompress,
Right,
not think about work at all.
Yeah. We don't have a microphone at our house.
Yeah.
Put on headphones right when you get home.
You can see somebody standing over by the pool, marking out the, summer, how many days with no accidents, and putting in 0.
Maybe it was the first day of fall.
Yeah, maybe it was. You're right. Hey, you know what? Don't you change that. We made it.
Do they all get fired?
I don't
mean, they're all terrible lifeguards.
I guess. I don't know. They did a good job till that day. Everybody has a bad day, Corey. Okay?
That guy must have been underwater going, oh, well, I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah. I wonder if his last
somebody's
thought
gonna
was,
get me.
isn't this ironic? I finally know what irony is.
Yeah, just at the bottom of the pool watching the warbly people not doing anything up above.
Like he thought it was a bit, and then nobody actually saved him. It's like, wait a minute, wait.
What if he was in 1985 like, this is a great idea for a song? Didn't know he was going to have to wait 10 years.
Yep, that was it.
Should we do headlines?
I think we should. I can't wait.
Now it's time for headlines.
Is there a what?
You have a question?
There's like a face in the window behind you, and now it's gone. That was weird.
Are you high?
Wait, what?
In the door. In the door.
Hotel California?
This isn't 3 Men and a Baby, Zach.
It might be a ghost.
Enough.
It could have been Dark Star. I told you he lives here.
Mm-hmm.
Or he comes here from time to time. I saw him one time and it made me say the S word on the air. It literally did. You know that story, Muss?
No, I
You
have
know
not.
it, Ben?
I thought you were kidding.
I don't think I've heard this story, no.
One day I was sitting here and it was one of those days when Sauce came in wearing like a hat that made him look exactly like Dark Star.
Sure.
And I looked over there and saw Dark Star sitting there. And I said, oh my God. And Corey goes, what? And I can't remember how, but basically you said, did you see Dark Star or something like that?
No, yeah, because you looked at Sauce and you nailed it. His whole outfit looked enough like him where I could just tell by your reaction. I go, let me guess. You thought he looked like Dark Star, and you go, oh, yes! The fact that we both saw it at the same moment, it just freaked Chris out, and he almost swore.
No, I did. I said the
that's
S
right.
word.
And you
I
dumped it?
Dumped it, yeah, because I couldn't control
There was
myself.
just everything about him, he was just projecting very Dark Star-esque qualities.
Yeah.
the mismatched stuff. He probably had flip flops. Not that you could have seen the flip flops or that. He's just
This is weird.
peak dark.
Yeah, man.
But again, if Dark Star was going to live anywhere here in St. Louis Park, it'd be a Good Day Cafe, so we could get toast to go.
Man, I love that place.
But if the Beetlejuice rules apply, he's not allowed to leave, so you can't get a basket of wheat toast to go. You have to keep it there.
Yeah.
If you walk outside of the Good Day Cafe, sandworms. You know I hate them.
Yeah, sandworms.
We're going there. We're going there after the show, right? That makes sense.
Should I join the market meeting that's starting right now?
Yeah.
We got another meeting?
Let's air
We
it
now
at
go to
8:30.
Greg Alexander.
Please stop cursing, Greg. We're on the radio. No, I just got an update on my computer here saying, ask me to join it.
Big market update.
It is big market
That was
update.
scheduled
Yep.
10 minutes ago.
Yep.
All right, headlines.
Says here,
Here we go.
sauce no longer works here. What?
Oh, no.
Oh, sausage.
Did they at least text him?
This time
Again.
they did text him. They didn't even call him this time.
Oh, he does still work here, just not on the show. Apparently 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., him and Tackle Terry Tuma
Man, I'd listen to that.
are doing a fan outdoors show.
Tackle and sauce.
Tackling sauce.
God, Sauce didn't even get the main part of the title.
No, he did
It's
not.
the afterthought.
No, he's the co-host.
I go Tuma as well, yeah. Amazon canceled A League of Their Own after one season.
Well, see you later.
They had a TV show?
Yeah, I didn't even know they had a TV show.
Yep.
I guess I didn't either. I probably would have watched that.
That's maybe one of the more perfect movies ever. Why would you make it into a show?
I love that movie.
Fantastic film. Apparently nobody cared about the series.
They actually reversed course, too, because I think they initially
about
renewed
dudes?
it. Yeah, this time it's all about dudes. Wow. No, that they renewed it for season 2 initially, and then a couple of shows that they there were some other shows I saw headlines that they said they renewed them for season 2, and then they changed their mind.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Forget it.
Yeah.
Fine.
You mentioned it earlier, but Blue Beetle knocked Barbie off the top spot at the box office with just $25.4 million, but that's enough to be number one.
It's a documentary about a very sad Ringo Starr. Second time I've used that joke. I still love it.
He shows up on a Dolly Parton song.
Yeah, he and Paul McCartney both.
Yeah.
They
with
do
her
Let
rock
It Be,
album.
don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's got to be a joke there about Zach running into Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show as well.
Oh,
me?
Come on.
Oh, you would do that?
What'd you do this weekend?
Out of respect.
I get it.
That'd probably get me on Howard.
My gosh, Ben. Hey, Ben, I'm
worth
sorry.
it.
You're doing headlines, and we get right back to it. I want to ask Ben this question before he gets out here, okay? Ben, did you run the 100-meter dash at any point in your
I did,
track
yeah.
career? How fast did you go at your fastest? Guessing.
10-8.
Yeah, which is flying, by the way, dude. How about somebody who just ran a 9.83? I mean, my gosh, dude.
Yeah,
A second faster than 100 meters.
I know. Wow. I love watching high-end track and field. I just love watching track and field.
I do too.
When my daughter went out for track and field for the first time this year, I loved going to track meets. It's so fun to watch just individual performances.
Yeah. We've talked about this before, but I think it was because I didn't really care if I won or lost. You know what I mean? So I had so much fun at those all-day track meets. A Saturday.
And they are all day.
And there'd be like 8 different teams, and you'd be flirting with all the girls you've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I loved that. That was freedom, man.
Must, do you have a big day at field day in middle school or high school? Do you ever have a moment where you were the star?
No, I wasn't really much into track. I mean, we did you had to do like city. That was like 5th and 6th grade.
Yeah.
And did the 100, but yeah, I didn't really enjoy running when I didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then also my brother was a big shot putter.
Of course he was.
And so my family was like, we got to go. We got to go and watch. So those all days. But now you're just sitting over by the discus and the shot putters.
Yeah, just dodging.
And when you're talking about all the girls, they're not on that area.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on now.
So you're just like,
I like
a bunch of big sweaty dudes.
They're there.
Oh,
They're
stop. No.
They're
there.
Must, I created an arch enemy in high school because of a race day. Do you know this story?
No.
Have you heard this story?
You created one?
Accidentally.
Okay.
So Duncan,
this is a real person.
Yeah, so Duncan Meyer, kid in my class, him and I were racing. Mr. Bevilacqua was supposed to do the old countdown, and
what movie is this from?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep going. I'm just trying to figure out
That's
what
okay,
movie
yep.
this is
We'll
from.
I'm telling Muss a story from when I was in high school.
Yep.
I'm trying to listen to this story,
Mr.
Ben.
Bevilacqua. And anyway, so Duncan had claimed for like 20 years that I got a head start. So when we were like in our 30s, he wanted to race me. I'm like, I'm not racing you again. I beat you then. I don't have to prove it again. And he just, anyways, it would take like a half an hour to tell that story.
Yeah, right. What is that, by the way? Come
Saved
on,
by
help
the
me
Bell.
out.
Yeah, you guys.
Saved by the Bell.
Where's that from?
It happened
It's
to me in high
Seinfeld.
school. What do you got?
Is it
It's
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
Okay.
Okay.
I remember, but
NSYNC
barely.
is releasing a new song. They're in the new movie Trolls Band Together. Of course, Timberlake's in the first couple of Trolls movies. Now, because the whole point of the third movie is getting this boy band back together.
Yeah,
If you're a giant fan of NSYNC, it sounds like they're all in the movie and they're going to have a new song.
that's cool. Have you heard it yet?
NSYNC's back. No, I can't wait.
It's a cover.
But man, the dance moves that go with
Yeah,
it.
it's really cool to see those old men
Spectacular.
dance.
So what, about a month ago, they started to put Halloween stuff at Costco. You guys have probably seen Halloween costumes and other Halloween decorations at Costco.
Already?
According
No.
to this, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, of course.
Since,
yeah.
honestly, like a month ago.
Yeah.
According to this headline, some places already selling Christmas stuff.
Bring it. Bring it.
Come on.
It is
man.
August 21st.
Bring it.
I maybe need to start going to stores that aren't a liquor store because I don't see any of that stuff yet.
That is the first thing you should say at the meeting. Oh, my. I think I need to go to stores that aren't liquor stores.
I'm going to insinuate myself in once again, okay? Do you mind real quick? Because I
Oh,
want to ask
boy.
him this before he leaves real quick, okay? Did you see the Jimmy Graham story, Ben?
I did. I did not get any more information other than just the way that they found it.
Here's Jimmy Graham, of course, New Orleans Saint. Jimmy Graham, shaken up but in good spot after arrest and medical episode. Following Jimmy Graham's arrest after suffering what was described as a likely seizure, New Orleans Saints head coach Dennis Allen provided an update on the veteran tight end. You won't see him tonight out here. He's still recovering. That was before Sunday's preseason game. He's still shaken up, but he's actually in a pretty good spot. We're thankful that medically it wasn't more serious than it was. I think he's in a good spot. We're going to arrest him tonight. He was taken into custody on Friday after police responded to a call regarding a person acting erratically in Southern California after he was seen walking in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Per TMZ, he was facing 2 misdemeanor charges of suspicion of being under the influence of a controlled substance and resisting, delaying, and obstructing a police officer. The Saints released a statement saying Graham had actually suffered a medical episode that caused him to be disoriented. He underwent further supervision and testing at a medical facility before being released on Saturday.
That was my next question as well.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long that process takes before the police
Right.
actually believe that this isn't narcotics or
Right.
alcohol.
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
I mean, that's got to take hours to verify that, wow, he was just having
Yeah.
a weird seizure. He's clean.
Now, here's the other
Weird.
thing that I was wondering about because I honestly thought he was out of the league. Graham
So
is
did I.
back in the
Me too.
NFL after sitting out the 2022 season, and he's reunited with the franchise that selected him in the third round of the 2010 NFL draft.
All right,
He's
did not know he
36.
was still in
So
this.
that to me is the other piece of the news story that I didn't know. I'm with you guys. I knew that he was out of the league, and so when he was found, this whole story started in Southern California. I just like, okay, that's just where
Yeah, right.
that's where he lives, and that's where he's gonna like live the remainder of his maybe post football life. I don't know. I didn't realize that he was still with the Saints.
Yep, there you go. He's back with them this year, and because I'm not a fantasy football player, until I read the story, I had forgotten Derek Carr is your quarterback
Yeah.
of the New Orleans Saints this year. So there you go. Hope he's all right. That's
A
scary
man in
stuff.
California was arrested after he accidentally texted a police officer and told them he was about to pull a gun on some people. It's unclear who he thought he was texting. No one was hurt.
That's a weird story.
How do you accidentally text a police officer?
But that-
Obviously, just the number was
Always
wrong.
read first before you hit send.
Yeah.
Yeah, spell check sauce.
That again, that's just terrible.
Well, the odds if he just randomly hit a 7 instead of an 8,
right?
It goes to somebody else.
Stupid
obviously,
autocorrect.
Look,
and then it goes to a police officer.
But it's a story we've heard 1,000 times. It's well known. You're supposed to text people before you pull a gun on a group. He didn't know that.
Well, okay.
It's a courtesy. Yeah. Yeah.
What an idiot. How about this for unbelievable timing and coincidence? There was a journalist who was working or reporting on a story about an escaped prison inmate.
Yeah.
He was in a parking garage editing a segment on the story that he was reporting on when he spotted the guy outside of the news van.
Whoa.
So you're doing a story. Hey, escaped inmate, so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. Live from parking garage. I'm purred happily. And then 2 seconds later, there's the guy.
So
they got him.
Let me ask you guys this, and maybe I'm outing myself as just a complete a-hole, right? Whenever you get those Amber Alerts or whatever, that either you're driving and saying, "Hey, look for a blue Hyundai, license plate." Do you actually even look for it?
Oh,
and
man,
if you,
I do.
And if you do see it, you actually consciously believe that you are seeing that specific car.
I'm telling you, man.
If I see somebody's face, I'm like, hey, I think that person's wanted. I would convince myself, like, nah, that's not.
I'm like the
that's not
leader of the
person.
neighborhood watch when I see those things, man. Every car that drives by me, I'm suspicious of. I don't know. I go into cop mode. I'm like, let's go. I got to find this person.
Hawk, you haven't gone the deep end where you're listening to a scanner now. Are you?
Dude, that's so weird that you asked me that question because I downloaded one this morning.
No way. Because of the police
Because
chase?
of the police thing, yeah. I swear to God,
I
did
need to
this
give
morning.
you a scanner.
Yeah, I got
Dude.
scanner
Oh,
radio.
yeah, it's right there.
It's right there.
Look, I know I've
It's
told this
right
story.
there.
This is
I
a
didn't
real
have any
one,
gigs, but I'm going to listen to the scanner on a Saturday night.
This is a real
I'm old,
story.
dude.
This isn't from Seinfeld. One of my buddy's grandmothers, when we were growing up in Chisago, small town, had a police scanner.
Yeah.
She would just sit on the back porch, have a beer, and listen to the scanner.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's kind of fun, actually.
Although,
I'll tell
it
you-
sucks when you're in a small town.
Right.
Yeah.
And 17-year-old got popped for an underage drinking.
Oh,
And it's
no.
over the scanner. And then, of course, it's,
Whole
I
town
heard
knows.
so-and-so. And then she tells that mom, and then every
Right.
mom knows. And you're like, God dang it. The whole town knows in 2 seconds because Dan's grandma's sitting on the scanner having drinks all summer long. Get off
can't
the
tell you.
scanner so we can get away with something.
In Owatonna, same thing, small town. And I knew a lot of my friends' parents that would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Sitting on the patio, just burning heaters and hammering beers and just listening to nothing happen in Owatonna.
That's
tell you,
rock
man.
bottom.
I'm going to tell you guys, it's one thing I always say this about small towns. The worst thing about small towns is when the siren goes off, there's a 90% chance you know whoever's hurt at the other end of that siren.
For sure.
It's the
Yeah,
worst.
for sure.
Hey, real quick, Ben, I know you got to go, but just reading a story saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to start a quarterback in this final preseason game this week for the Jets.
Oh, no kidding.
How about that? And get a little preseason time this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be actually a lot of fun to watch.
And
to
it's against
see-
the Giants, weirdly enough.
It's Jets,
Will
it's Jets
Dalvin get a
Giants.
snap?
Yeah.
Dalvin get a snap maybe in that?
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Maybe it's like they'll throw him out there for a screen pass. Just like, all right, it's
Yeah,
screen pass,
Right.
Just
And he'll hurt his
just go out
shoulder.
there.
Oh, who said that? What a
Oh
B word.
no, he's not going to fumble and then grab his shoulder. Is he?
So does
Who
your
said
Twin
that?
Cities Live at the fair run start on Thursday
Yeah.
right out of the gate, huh?
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, all the following week, and then
Good
Labor
for
Day.
you, buddy.
So all 8 weekdays.
Yeah, all 8 weekdays.
Got him.
So what
You
happens
got to do
between now
Labor
and
Day too. Yuck.
what about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this
Yeah,
week?
normal
What do you-
show
What
in
do you got?
studio.
You guys aren't going anywhere? You're not going to Owatonna or Chisago again?
No. We're about to announce our next TCO in your town, and it was actually one of my suggestions. So I'm actually really happy about it.
White Bear?
Yeah, right.
Go to Marshall. Lovely town. They love us
Yeah.
up there, over there, down there. I never know.
I
what
wonder. I
direction I'm
do
driving
wonder
in.
what our radius is. You know, we did go up to Duluth, so we could say that it's about a 2.5 hour radius from the
Sure.
Twin Cities. So yeah, it would obviously fall within that. It's very possible. Very possible. Well, I love you guys. I'll
3
see you
o'clock to
on.
4:30 today
There
on
you go.
See you
Channel
on
5.
Thursday.
All
All
I
right.
can't wait to watch you on
Thursday.
TCL while you guys
Oh.
are pairing wines with all the deep fried food. It's
Yeah,
going to be
man.
awesome.
It's gonna be great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot of rosés.
Oh, Rose.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Ben.
buddy.
Hey, Ben.
Yep. There he goes.
Here's a weird story that I don't think we ever thought we'd be talking about, but here we are in 2023. On Friday, a U.S. district judge ruled that you can only copyright works created by humans, not artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
because a guy sued because he was denied a copyright on a piece of artwork that was, quote, autonomously created by a computer algorithm running on a machine. So he was trying to say, well, that was mine, though. I made it. And the court said, no,
No,
it
you
was
didn't. Yeah.
artificial intelligence. You didn't do anything. You don't get the rights to that.
That's really interesting because that takes away the opportunity for any average Joe to use AI to write a song and then put it out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And at least, take credit for it and get money for it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
The judge
right.
said, quote, human involvement in And ultimate creative control over the work at issue was key to the conclusion that the new type of work fell within the bounds of copyright. So
yeah, but Hawk, it's going to be one of those where I changed a couple of words.
For sure.
Not that any artist has ever done that and then gets the writing credit.
Right. Well, and that, yeah, right. But that is the thing, though. I mean, there's got to be a way. I was just talking to a teacher about this the other day, and I can't remember. But who was I talking to? Anyway, apparently there is technology out there that can, somehow determine if something was written by AI. Because I was talking to them about how they're ever going to know whether or not a kid wrote their term paper or not. Mm-hmm. And apparently there is technology, and they're developing it more and more each day to be able to identify somehow if it was written by AI. Can you imagine? I mean, how would they do that?
I don't know, but the teachers, even when I was in high school, they already did have, and not just, you mean just Googling a sentence, but they already did have some type of app that they could put your paper into and figure out if it was plagiarized.
I would just have artificial intelligence create a program to test artificial intelligence. And then if I'm a student, I would ask artificial intelligence, I would say, could you please come up with a program that supersedes the program that can check if we used you to write our papers?
That seems like...
And then if I'm the teachers, what I do is I ask artificial intelligence
to
create a program
that
would stop the program that was getting around the program that we created.
It seems like
by using
devil's threesome.
program.
The Terminator shows up later and tells you about the future.
Isn't that what we call it?
I think we nailed
Is
it.
it a devil's threesome?
Yeah, no, that's it's a whole different thing.
Don't Google that.
Okay.
Mus, here's your random fact for the day.
I love it.
Ooh.
In 2003, Red Lobster ran an all-you-can-eat crab promotion.
Yes.
But underestimated how fat Americans are.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Shut them down.
They seriously underestimated how much each individual person on average would eat, and Red Lobster took a $3.3 million loss.
Holy balls.
I love Red Lobster.
Do you?
I absolutely love it.
Are there still, where is one?
There's one actually in
place.
Burnsville. Yeah,
Really?
right on 42.
Cheddar Bay Biscuits.
Next to the Outback. Oh.
Top 5 food of all time, Cheddar Bay Biscuits at Red Lobster.
Do we have one in Maple Grove still? Is it over there still?
Absolutely.
Over by Malone's?
It's right next to Malone's.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a seafood
I
guy.
think it's called the Admiral, and it has everything on it. It's a big, full lobster, which I don't really care to have the eyes. I can't eat anything that has eyes looking back at me.
No, stop it.
Yeah.
Gross.
But then it has everything else. And, that was Mankato days.
What about its genitals?
you get it all.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I like shellfish.
So just to clarify, Mus, so you don't like eye contact when you're eating?
No.
Oh, that makes one of us.
Cheddar Bay Biscuits, though?
Oh, spectacular.
Top 5 of all time.
Oh,
of
yeah.
all foods on the planet Earth. Red Lobster, Cheddar Bay Biscuits, top 5.
There is no
And
wife
that's
on
not
the
an
planet that
exaggeration.
shouldn't have a bunch of them that she stole and put in her purse because her husband's like, hey, we'll get another basket. Just
Well, you can get them to go.
Get him to go, buddy. You ain't got to
can?
steal. I mean, you can if it makes him better.
Ooh.
Right?
No, stealing's better.
I mean,
Everybody
tip accordingly, but you can get them to go.
I did not know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. They used to have a great big
butthole.
Go figure. I know where the bar is.
I think that's part of the Admiral.
They have this monster drink, and man, is it fantastic! But you're not supposed to have it as your own.
Oh,
that's one of those sharing ones. Found that out.
You need to stop going to bars and liquor stores. Buddy. You might want to branch out a little bit.
Are you sure you didn't just have that drink put on a captain's hat and then you called yourself the Admiral?
I'm picturing you at the Red Lobster alone.
Right.
Getting ready to dine.
Ask him to take the lobsters out of the tank and fill it for them with that booze.
And they're like,
one straw, please.
Mr. Mussman, we closed 15 minutes ago. Could we please go
sign
out?
said all I can eat.
And
But
also,
I'm the Admiral, damn it.
And also, Merry Christmas.
That you just made it sad.
We should have known, Mus, when you were like, Red Lobster, fantastic. Love eating at Red Lobster. What's your favorite food at Red Lobster? Margaritas, daiquiris,
Absolutely.
vodkas. You have a drinking problem.
No, I do not.
It's okay, buddy.
You remember when you said I need to stop going to stores that aren't just liquor
Yeah,
stores?
you
right?
did say that
Well,
earlier.
I didn't
remember?
realize that Christmas stuff is out yet. I don't do a lot of shopping.
Yeah, I do. I love it, man. Man.
I wonder if Red Lobster does take it as a badge of honor that I'm not kidding, that if I was on death row, it would be a part of my final meal. I'd say I want Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. Can you just look? I know Target now has. I think they sell them at multiple places, but in the freezer section, they have pre-made now Cheddar Bay biscuits that you just throw in the oven for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a long time now, they've had the mix where you can mix it and bake it. It's a process. Those are better than the frozen ones, but it's a process.
Sure.
I don't hate that process. I don't hate the frozen ones. Target, you're still going to get my money. I'm going to do that once in a while. But I would pay a significant amount of money just to drive up to Red Lobster, have them give me like a box of about 30, and I'll give them a blank check.
You've never seen the faces of disappointment that absolutely crushed another human being than when my wife decided she was going to try to make them at home.
Oh, that's the dumbest. Well, hang on. Without the Red Lobster mix?
Oh, no. Yeah, she was going scratch.
Your wife's an idiot.
And the kids were
that's an overreaction.
The kids were so damn pumped. They were so excited. And then all of a sudden, just the one bite and just watch them both just go,
well, yeah,
what did
this
you
is
do to our
trash.
childhood?
That's like if your monster of a wife was like, I bet I could make my own Coca-Cola at home. No, you can't. That's why you have to go to the store, right, Zach?
That don't taste
Do you
like
think she could make
McDonald's.
Diet Coke?
No. Well, I mean,
She
you can
would
make
try, though.
freestyle with some of Ben Lieber's leg fluid, but
Whoa!
Ben Lieber's Lake Fluid is the title of the podcast.
There were so many options, but that takes the cake this morning. Again, I'm interjecting myself, but I just remember this, and I've been wanting to remember this for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to blow your mind right now, Corey. Do you remember the movie Good Morning Vietnam?
Of course.
Obviously, starring Robin Williams as Adrian Cronauer. I was listening to a audiobook about this gentleman's 1 year in Vietnam. And he just dropped this fact in, and I had no idea. You guys tell me if you already knew this. Do you know who took over for Adrian Cronauer when his tour of duty was up, doing Good Morning Vietnam, and continued with the Good Morning Vietnam thing?
No.
Casey Kasem?
Pat Sajak.
Sajak.
Really?
Sajak.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sajak. Yeah, that's what he said in this book. So I got to look it up right now. I mean, that is, that's what he said in his book. Pat Sajak.
Hey, can I ask a super dumb question about Pat Sajak? Can I ask a dumb question?
Oh, sure.
Has the new season of Wheel started, his final season? Has it started?
That's a John Creasel question.
And the only reason I ask...
I wouldn't.
Maybe they filmed it already.
That's my point. The only reason I ask is I know they film it way in advance with Sajak. They do almost all the episodes in, a couple of weeks for the whole year kind of a thing.
What a gig.
I'm just wondering if that in any way was impacted by the writer's strike, or were all the episodes in the can before the strike started?
Yeah, because isn't Jeopardy, they're just going to do old questions?
I mean,
thought I saw that story on there.
How you're going to do that.
Right. That's what I saw too. Yeah, here it is, guys. During the Vietnam War, multiple American Forces Vietnam network stations broadcast to troops across the country. One of the network's DJs was future Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak, who repeated those same words that Cronauer made famous.
It says he trained as a clerk typist, was sent there to be a finance clerk, and then after repeated attempts, he was transferred to Saigon to be the DJ.
How about that?
He was so bad at the other job that you're going to Saigon.
It's a Wheel of Fortune origin story. It's a lot like The Horn in Zach Halverson. At some point, Zach's going to go into the Hall of Fame, and they're going to go, do you know he did The Horn in White Bear Lake, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Covering
Darn right.
White Bear Lake hockey.
Yep.
You're darn right is your catchphrase that you go to the Hall of Fame
That's
with.
it, man. You're darn right.
And I believe Jeepers Creepers
I think it's
is
gonna be
another one of your catchphrases.
Yeah. Do you believe in miracles? You're darn right.
He shoots, he scores, Jeepers Creepers.
It's juice and it's Lucy.
It's juice and it's Lucy. God, this is your speech. We're stealing all your material. Oh, man, that classic Halverson line.
Yep.
Jeepers Creepers. Anyway, that'll do it for headlines.
Again, okay, cool. I got some other stuff for you. This is, it seems like old news now, but this is an updated version of the old news story. Taylor Swift's Eras tour is likely to become the highest grossing tour of all time. A new report shows the tour likely brought in over $2 billion from North American ticket sales alone.
So think about that. As big of a deal as it was, it's like Grand Theft Auto. Not a big deal. Grand Theft does it in its, in its sleep with its eyes closed. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So big deal, Taylor Swift.
Right.
Well, when she's given $100,000 gifts to the 50 different truck drivers.
Yeah, good for her and good for them. I'm glad. That's good.
She made some money.
Yeah.
And she's still got more coming out because she's still doing the Taylor version.
And she's young.
That's the most,
Yeah.
like to me, the key to those. Out of the $2 billion, how much do you think Taylor actually got?
I wish I knew.
That'd be tough to.
I mean, it's got to be
people can
hundreds
estimate,
of
but I wonder.
millions.
Yeah. Oh, for
Because
sure.
there's a lot of overhead. I mean, if you've ever seen their shows.
Yeah.
I mean, just the staging alone, it was so big that she couldn't break the record that Ed Sheeran broke at US Bank Stadium.
Well, yeah, but that again, he was in the round.
Yeah.
And so that means every seat in the stadium is possible to sell.
Right.
So that's a big difference. Again, for half that concert, man, it's just him and his guitar on that stage. Imagine being in a stadium with 70,000 people, and it's just you and your guitar, Corey. And he uses that. What is that? The pedal.
The one that loops it?
Yeah, the looper. That's what it's called, a looper. Yeah. And it's just him up there playing. And man, brilliant. The overhead is pretty low.
I think the first time I had heard of the round or a concert in the round was in the 90s. I think when the Beastie Boys did it.
Def Leppard did it first.
I'm not saying they did it. I'm just saying
Right.
I had never heard of it until the Beastie Boys did it. And I remember going, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
Pretty
You're just
cool.
like in a circle in the middle of a giant pit. Like there's no escaping.
Yeah.
Man, Beastie Boys are definitely in my top 10 regrets of not seeing. I never got to see them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the first show, but it's the first time I've seen the Metallica in the round stage at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and it's
awesome.
It's pretty extensive and awesome, and hell of a crowd down there.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Well, they have to have a green room underneath the stage.
Yes.
They wheel them in and just equipment carts.
Crazy.
Hiding inside there.
Pretty neat, man.
So that way no one sees them first. It's a cool way to do a show. I've loved every time. Like Shania Twain did that at the X. That was an amazing show. Dixie Chicks.
Celine
When
Dion.
they were the Dixie Chicks, now the Chicks.
Zach Bryan,
Yeah. Real quick, one last thing. 2000. What year in the 2000s here? Quentin Tarantino's movie came out on this date in what year? Inglourious Bastards.
Ooh.
Ooh, 07?
I was going to say 2006.
I'll say like
my first thought.
2008.
9.
2009. Bam. Nailed it. Love that movie, man.
Such a great
movie.
Brad Pitt and the rest of the cast.
Aldo Rain.
$37 million over a 3-day box office weekend. Debuted #1.
The only part, the Mike Myers thing still throws me off, though.
Yeah, it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you, but
it's
I
like
get
he's
it.
doing an Austin Powers character
It is
right
weird,
in the middle
right?
of the movie.
Oh,
It's
and one
weird.
more thing.
The rest of it's
Corey,
awesome.
I got to give you this as the last thing, just as I take this. The Meg 2 continues to just kill it at the box office.
It does?
Yeah, it does, man. I'm telling you, $529 million worldwide right now for the Meg 2. Can you
I would
believe
not
it?
have been surprised if you said $529 worldwide.
I like that they decided to make that a love story in the Meg 2. So
Well, of
that's
course.
yeah.
For sure.
Oh, it's a tearjerker.
Yeah, it's a jerk.
What if this whole show is full circle and we find out that the Meg 2 dies because Lieber crapped in the ocean and the Meg choked on
Oh,
it?
that's why he's pissed. That's why he's eating everybody. Somebody pooped in here. I live here, Ben.
Unless we get moved to a different time slot, we'll be back tomorrow. 5:30 to 9 to noon is next. See ya.
KFAN. Total